We're back. It's happening, boys. Big Blue, as you can see, I'm getting carried away here, but Big Blue is gonna be rolling out of this garage by the end of this video. I guarantee it. So we got a bunch of parts, and here is one of the biggest things with this machine. And I've showed it off on Instagram, I've showed it off on some YouTube shorts. We're doing some anodized gold, and I gotta show you some of the stuff because it is absolutely sick, and it's gonna be the chef's kiss to Big Blue. And we're talking gold, baby.
I love gold.
We have gone overboard on this build, doing gold everywhere. And off camera, I did add a couple things. The Viper shifter is installed with the gold knob, the ZRP gold billet accelerator pedal. We got the handles from Geyser. They are billet and gold. And of course, you just saw the front knuckles. I'll show you the rears real quick. Oh, there's one installed. Let me show you the one that's not installed. And I got a mess in the garage, guys. We got Maverick R parts everywhere. We got Razor parts. Here are the gold knuckles from ZRP. We got everything anodized in gold by Dunham Metal Processing in orange. It came out absolutely beautiful. So a lot of gold in this machine. Why? It needed it. It's the chef's kiss on this freaking X3. I'm super excited about this gold. I keep saying it, gold, gold, gold. It's freaking beautiful. Check out these sway bar links. Check out the clutch housing from KWI. If that's not insane, I don't know what is. Since the last video, we didn't make too much progress here. The center console is pretty much assembled. We did install the steering wheel with the hub that I did in gold as well. And then the seat belts, we're debating here on what color to do. I mean, these are labeled as gold on PRP's website. These are yellow. But to me, I'm leaning more towards the yellow. I mean, it just looks more of a gold color. It does look yellow, don't get me wrong, I'm not colorblind. But this looks more like bronze, and I'm not feeling this too much. And I'll grab this plate and put it side by side, and you guys can tell me in the comment section what you guys think. But I'm thinking the yellow belts I gotta go with this car. Here we have the Fordworks carbon, forged carbon, cage trim installed. Everything is gonna be installed with gold hardware from Doom Gear, and that actually matches pretty good to the other stuff that I did. Here in the back, I did get the trans in last night. We put on the drive shaft. I bolted down the trans so it's not going anywhere. We put on some Demon axles. In the back, the LMUTV pull plate. And today we're gonna start installing everything to get this basically a roller. I need to install the trailing arms. I started to the other day, as you can see. I gotta tighten up the trailing arm up front. I gotta go ahead and put the radius rods out back, which I just picked up from the powder coater, which look, of course, sick. But same color as the chassis. Here are some more billet parts that we did in gold. ZRP, what do you call this? Trailing arm brace. And then right here, of course, we got the sway bar links. We got these from Hen Racing, which we have another part from Hen Racing, but it's not here. We'll show you guys that in the future. So the gold is everywhere on this machine, just little bits sprinkled everywhere. And then we did Chupacabra Off-Road's full line in gold. We're talking about the rearview mirrors, the race mirrors. I'll show you those as well. Boom, they look sick. Just a little touch of gold. I was gonna do this piece, but I decided to leave it in black. I like how this looks, and it's not gonna be too crazy with the gold on the mirrors. And yeah, this looks amazing, guys. It's so sexy. I also did all their products when it comes to the headset hangers, the antenna mount, a bunch of stuff, all in gold, just to give this a little touch here and there, just sprinkled all the way around. It's just gonna look sick. Furthermore, when it comes to the gold, we're gonna be doing Venom wheels. The billet ring will be gold, the center caps will be gold, and then the shocks. How can I forget? You already saw the thumbnail, so you know what I'm talking about. King shocks, custom anodized, black and gold with the OEM Blue King springs. I was gonna do this blue, but just something inside me told me leave the springs as is in that blue that they do, and it'll just scream King shocks. So I've yet to see how that's gonna look because I haven't picked them up yet. They are ready. It should look good though, because that blue won't match like the flake that's in the powder coat, so it's not gonna be a big deal. And I think it's just gonna look cool because it's King shocks. Why not? So in the next few hours, I'm gonna go ahead and install the radius rods and basically get the whole rear end bolted down, maybe put the wheels on the back. We will wait for the King shocks, so we'll cut to another day, as well as for the front end, we will also cut to another day because the differential is on its way from Ox. Alright, currently trying to mount this panel. I want to have, by the end of this video, all these panels on the side installed, and this fender, and the front fenders. So I went ahead and adjusted these off camera, and I think it's gonna look sick, blue, black, blue, just like I had it before. And then the gold just breaking everything up here in the center with the knuckles. Kind of the theme everywhere. This is spread out everywhere. So like the front diff and then the front knuckles, the rear diff, or excuse me, the rear knuckles and the rear plate, and just sprinkled everywhere, including the shocks. Looking damn good. We're gonna go ahead and install the lower rockers, both sides. Let's do it. It's like 12 o'clock at night. I have to trim the plastic here, here, and here because of all these gusset plates that we added. So taking a lot longer to do. There we go. So I'll knock out the driver's side, put the fender on this side, and then we'll go ahead and wake up in the morning. We'll do the fenders in the rear, and then I kind of want to just do the skid plates and knock out all the skid plates except for the front one because I can't put that on until the differential's in there. But at least the whole bottom panel of the car will be done. I gotta do a couple things around the engine bay. I gotta put some, I bought this gold film. That's basically like a heat shield where the turbo's gonna be, which is that guy. And once I put that on, I'll basically be ready to slap an engine in there. So that's another thing, guys. I mean, I got the engine. This will probably be a separate video. I gotta assemble the engine. It's been in pieces for a long time, just sitting on the shelf, and I've been backburnering it forever, and that's my fault. But we're gonna get it done. We'll put that on video. So yeah, this is all ready to go. We'll see you guys in the morning. Let's do the fenders. Guys, this is looking absolutely perfect. Carbon trim is on there. Imagine with the nets already installed, the door skins on, it'll be a complete car as far as the side profile goes. This is gonna be gloss black just like it used to be, with a bunch of gold trim. And then yeah, it's just super excited, guys. All right, let me continue. All right, boys, I'm gonna show you something special. Willwood brakes and calipers, we showed them off, but now we're putting them on the machine, doing a little test fit, making sure everything fits correctly, which luckily they do on the ZRP knuckles. So Willwood brakes front and rear. I'm currently gonna try to install the rears. The fronts, I can't really do anything until I have, you know, the front diff like we mentioned. So that'll be here soon in this video. So right now I'm gonna work on the rear. I do have all the OEM hubs here. I'm gonna give them a quick spray paint. I did order some from ZRP, some brand new chromoly hubs, but unfortunately they're not gonna be ready. So for now, we're gonna run these. We're gonna give them a nice coat of paint. So while the paint dries, I do wanna show you guys this. I didn't mention it, but I did this the other night, and this is some heat reflective tape, or padding, whatever you wanna call it. It's just heat reflection, heat shield, basically. Gold happens to be one of the best at reflecting heat, and gold happens to be a theme of this machine, so it just makes sense and it looks great. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's hard to get into all the nook and crannies here, but I just did some sections just to reflect some heat, and hopefully it'll help out for the passengers in the back, my kids. But yeah, machine's looking proper. Tubs are almost dry. I did get paint all over the threads. It shouldn't be a big deal to clean itself up. But I do gotta get the paint off this area right here. So I'll probably get some Scotch-Brite once it dries up, because if I do it now, it'll probably just get gummed up. Get some Scotch-Brite, clean that up, install the rotors, and then I should be able to install the rears immediately and put the wheels on. All right, I'm gonna install these in the rear, but I already put them on the front, and I want to show you guys how insane this package looks. You see that badass gold knuckle, and everything surrounding it is black. So I don't know, they put some sort of coating on these rotors. They are black currently. Obviously those are going to turn you know, regular steel color when they wear in, but just for the time being, insane. And my little paint job in these hubs ain't too bad. They don't look bad on there. And then we got these ZRP lug nuts, which are higher grade chromoly. Well, it's not exactly on the wheels, but the wheels are on. She's wide. These wheels, we have these on Stormtrooper, and the offset is insane. I think they're 8-inch rims, but because the rim is like a concave where it kind of dishes in, and it sticks out more than your typical 8-inch rim, so it looks sick. I'm calling it. That's it for tonight. We're gonna fast forward to us getting our front differential, and we're gonna do the same exact thing to the front. Let's do it. Now that I think about it, we're not only waiting for that Halo 30 diff, we're also waiting for the axles, which is a bummer. Now that I think about it, yeah. Boys, surprisingly, the axles and the diff should be arriving today. Meanwhile, I gotta bleed the brakes. I gotta make sure we have brakes, so when we roll this thing out of the freaking garage, it doesn't go right into that Nissan Armada over there. So we're gonna show you guys how I bleed the brakes. It's super simple. I already have it set up. Let me show you what I got. So I've had this thing for a while. This is made by AGM. It works absolutely fantastic. The only thing is, you gotta make sure you have a compressor with a regulator on it to lower down the pressure. So I usually lower it to around 10 PSI. It's a little under here, but 10 PSI usually does the job. We can raise it just a little bit on my compressor. And what this does is you hook it up to the system, and it pushes the fluid through the system, through the lines, and through the caliper. Now these are Willwood brake calipers, like we just showed you guys installation. They're looking absolutely amazing, better right now than that dark video I had before. But on these, you actually want to bleed it from the top screw, not the bottom screw. With the bottom screw, apparently you might introduce air. I think what this does is it fills the system, and since the air bubbles are normally going to go to the top, it'll push them and go all the way up. So at least that's what I think. I don't know. The instructions say to loosen up the top one, not the bottom one, and I'm doing what they say. So with your system all set up, the compressor hose going to the AGM bleeder, and your cap hooked up, all you gotta do is make sure that valve is open. Make sure your pressure is not too high, because if it goes over into the red, it'll blow off that little valve there, pressure relief valve. And that's really it. You just open up one of these screws, right? And then you use this guy so the fluid goes into the tank. Now this works great with the OEM nipples for the bleeding screws. Unfortunately, these are really tiny. It still makes a mess. So I do have this little water bottle. It doesn't have to have soap in it. You could just use regular water. It'll dilute the brake fluid. But I dipped this one into the old wash bucket, so it has soap on it, so no big deal. All my pressures are where I want them. Just gotta crack open the screw here. Normally on a stock caliper, you can break it loose with this thing already on it. But you can see all the air that just came out of it. It'll start making, what do you call it? It'll start coming out without the bubbles eventually. It does it pretty quickly. You don't have to spend a ton of time. I usually just go by the amount on the reservoir. So like for every, I would say 3/4 of an inch, it goes up. Then I stop and go to the next one. So the AGM brake bleeder is freaking awesome. I've used it so many times. I have blown the hose a couple times. I think it's because the sun eats away at the hose. But other than that, that hose needed to be replaced. This thing has been amazing. So yeah, get yourself one of these. The brake should be bled. We'll check if we have a firm pedal right after I finish the right front. By the way, if I didn't mention it, these brake lines are from Streamline Brakes. So they make the brake lines. They also make a big rotor kit for the stock calipers, which is what I used to have on Big Blue. It did improve the performance of the braking. This is another level, but if you're on a budget, make sure to check out Streamline Brakes. They make the rotors, pads, and the brake lines for the Maverick X3s. All right, let's check if I got a pedal. Gotta pump it a couple times, get the pads close to the rotors, and come on. I think the travel is a little low though, so I might want to adjust. There's a adjustment screw with a threaded rod. I might adjust that. I got a firm pedal, but it's kind of deep down there. So no sponginess, but too much travel. So I'll adjust that right now, and we should be good. Differential got delayed, and axles also seems to be delayed. Shipping changed to the next day. At least I started cleaning up the seats and putting them back in, and that's getting good on the inside. It's starting to look like a complete machine on the inside. We are going to be running TMW's new electronic motorized seat track motors for the front. For the back, I'm not, just because I mean, there's not a lot of movement. You can only move a little bit because it hits in the back. So I'm just gonna leave the fronts basically the same as they were, and then yeah, do the motorized in the front. So that means these are not gonna be bolted down for a minute because I still gotta go pick up all that stuff at TMW. And then the left rear, I'm gonna go ahead and actually bolt that one down completely so it's nice and tight. And then this one, I'll just lay the seat in here just like the fronts and let it rest because we still have a lot of wiring to do. I did start mounting the relay and fuse setup for the fuel pump from Evolution Power Sports. There is a fitting I'm still waiting for before I put this lock ring on. But basically, this is power, this is ground, and then this goes to the OEM connection on the OEM harness. So happy with that. Brakes are good to go, as you guys saw, and they're looking, I can't stop looking at these things. They just look massive. Still no diff, but this front end though. We put grills on it on the lowers, same TMW grill. 4Works forged carbon for the I guess you call them fenders. This guy will go here, something like that. And then obviously I have the painted versions of these sitting right over here, but we're gonna leave these on here for now while they make the A+ bar. It's a freaking roller already, man. Almost. Just need some parts, just a little bit.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Wow. Move. Awesome. This thing looks epic. Woo! Super happy with that. Amazing. Let me throw this thing in. Time is a ticking. Don't scratch it. This thing's heavy. You little bitch. Don't be a bitch, Frankie. Oh, fuck. I don't know if this is gonna work. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Holy shit, this might be a problem. Only one way to find out. That freaking rack and that diff might not work together. And if that's the case, we're screwed. Fuck. Guys, it barely clears. Super tight. But it's gonna work. I did give it a little scratch, but that's okay. Diff is on. Now I can worry about putting on the driveline, tying up the driveline, put on the skid plates. The bottom of the machine will be basically done. The axles are due to be here tomorrow.
That was a lie.
Although the UPS tracking keeps lying to me, so I'm hopeful on that. Alright, we ran into a small issue. Kind of small. Let me know what you guys think. So, obviously the differential on this machine is solid mounted. Right, it bolts straight onto the chassis. In the back, the transmission and engine package is also solid mount. We use these hard plastic mounts instead of the rubber ones that come from the factory. So basically, it's solid mount. And I'm thinking of making the center driveline mounting location also solid mount because I'm having a small issue, which I'll show you guys right now once I grab my light. Underneath the car, you can see how it's mounted with this Sandcraft carrier holder. It's billet, but there is a rubber urethane. Well, you can't see it from down here, but there's a urethane bushing. Can you guys see it? Yeah, you guys can see it right there. And it's about 1/4 inch thick. So there's a rubber bushing there that is basically above and below the billet, and then you sandwich it with the bolt, and that's supposed to have vibration isolation right there. The problem I have currently is, and I don't know what it is, either it's the driveline or the differential or the combination of both, but can you guys see that? The frame is a millimeter away from the driveline, which is a problem. So I'm thinking of making the center mount for that driveline basically solid, and that will hopefully lower the driveline just a little bit, enough so we can at least have a, non-rubbing driveline. I think that's my only option currently, or machine the mount completely and still use the rubber mount somehow. So that is a little bit of an issue, especially when you put power to it. I mean, even if it was a stock machine, 200 horsepower, doesn't matter. The vibrations and the speed that driveline turns at is going to cause some movement, and it's definitely going to rub. And eventually it's going to rub through the driveline with the frame, and something's going to give right there. The driveline is going to break, or it's going to make the frame weak, one or the other. I can't have either. So what I'm probably going to do is pull both seats out, take that guy out, and then unbolt it, remove it, and then see if I can modify it somehow. But we'll do that off camera. Just thought I'd let you guys know, share with you some of the issues with running multiple aftermarket parts together. So sometimes aftermarket parts don't work together correctly, and the only other fear that I have for this whole machine is the King shocks not working with these lower shock mount arms. So we don't know yet, but we will in just a minute. Now this is a big moment. My first ever set of King shocks, custom anodized in black and gold. Absolutely sick. They match with the rest of the parts. Let's throw these on. I do have to remove these shields though, because these lower shock mount arms are not going to work with this. I'm going to take these off. I am putting these spacers in between the frame and the shock, because on the Fox shocks, it was causing, well, it wasn't causing it, it was just, I guess, the nature of the whole setup and the arm, different chassis out there, and the arms being not perfect, and the shocks were extremely close to the arm. And here we have plenty of space. I still put that on there just in case. I did check here, we're also cleared here. Also, luckily, this is at full droop basically, right? And they are going to clear over here, which was having me all worried, because since the shock's more upright with these arms, I wasn't 100% if that was going to work, and it works, so good thing for that. Yeah, it just looks freaking sick, guys, undoubtedly. Let me just throw on the other one, and boom, boom, there it is. 2 shocks on the front end of this machine. I'm super excited of how this blue looks. We left the OEM King shock blue on there. It looks freaking sick, and it just contrasts a little bit more with the rest of the machine, because if I did the same colors as suspension, I think it would just been, well, it still is a sea of blue, but it would have been worse. I don't know. Anyways, that looks sick. The back looks freaking sick. One thing that I am kind of sad about is, well, not sad about, I'll figure it out, is these don't really move, the hoses, like the Fox shocks do. They don't swivel on the ends, so you're stuck in the position that they send them in, like this. And I think that's it, guys. Really late tonight, I'm gonna install a dummy motor that I have laying over there. It's an engine that's has a dead cylinder in it. I'll slap that on, and we're gonna take it somewhere so they could do the fab work for the charge tubes, the nets, and a bunch of other stuff. And that's yet to be seen. We'll show you guys that. I'll probably record a little bit over there, because this guy does really good work. And then that's it. Once I get that back, it'll be a race to the finish till Sand Show. Make sure everything's done. So much work has gone into this machine already, but there's like probably 80% still that needs to be done. Normally, like the last, the last 80%, the car's already assembled, but there's all the little things, all the wiring, all the plumbing, all the making sure the lines are filled with coolant, brake fluid, engine oil. Make sure everything is sealed. Everything is just from a ground up, from tip to tip. It's a ton of work. So it is what it is. We're gonna pull these jacks so the thing's sitting on its own weight for the first time in over a year, and very excited. Thank you guys for joining me on this build. I just been super happy with the turnout of this machine. It's been taking a long time from, you know, the day we messed it up in Halloween over a year ago, and but it's become something very special. So my first machine ever, I want it to be special, and it's getting there. So big shout out to you guys that support the channel. Make sure to visit glifeutv.com and buy parts so we can finish the build, because there's still so much to do. But overall, guys, thank you for the opportunity to do what I'm doing now. It's awesome. So see you guys later. Also, you may have noticed I don't have my axles in, and I just put some cups in there for now so I get the rest of the fab work done. But yeah, I don't have them, and UPS hasn't given them to me yet, so I don't know what's going on with that. We're gonna wait last second for that. If not, you'll see it at the show with no axles. No problem. I said I would roll it out, but not too much. I don't have tie rods. Back in the garage. Also, Motion Raceworks. This is a company that makes a bunch of race car parts. I know about them because I watch Cletus McFarlane. I got a custom gold catch can straight from them, already anodized, and it's just about perfect. This couldn't be coming along any better. The stars, I'm hoping, are aligning. So, not sure where I'll put this, but awesome.